Hi guys, Craig here with American Bass TV. I have another pros pointer for you today. Before we get into this pros pointer, let me invite you to send in your own video for us to feature you in a pros pointer video. Send a video of you showing your favorite technique, lure modification, anything that you would like to share to help everyone else catch more bass. You can use your phone for the video, shoot it in the landscape direction, that's the wide direction. If you keep it under a minute, you should be able to text that right over to our office number. If it's too big to text, you can email it to info@AmericanBass.com. Don't worry about trying to make the video perfect. We can edit glitches that you might have in your submission. Then be sure to share these videos with your friends. Encourage them to subscribe and hit the notify icon. That way they will be notified every time we release a new video. Okay, let's jump into this pros pointer. This pros pointer is being presented by Rod Wynn. Rod is a regional pro that has fished American bass and other events for 25 years. Rod is a consistent high finisher, but is chasing that elusive first major tournament title. Two of Rod's top baits are chatterbaits and spinnerbaits. In this pros pointer, Rod shares details on modifications to these lures.
Hello everyone, what's up? Rod Wynn here, Phoenix Rods and Lowrance Pro here with the American Bass Association Pro Tip of the Day. As you know, with this series, we're trying to help you guys catch more fish, keep people entertained, keep people fishing motivated while most of our lakes is closed. So I'm gonna bring you my tip of the day. My tip is gonna be brought to you sort of by one of my techniques. I love to throw the chatterbait. Love it, love it, love it. Jackhammer chatterbait, any Z-Man chatterbait, I love it. I love to throw it in any conditions. I try to throw it under any conditions. Having said that, I do make a slight modifications to my chatterbaits and to my spinnerbaits because I'm also known to being a guy who's a part of the deep spinnerbait group. We love throwing a deep spinnerbait at some of our lakes as well. And I'll show you guys some things that I do to my spinnerbaits and my chatterbait to help me catch some more fish and hopefully help you. So we're gonna start out here. This is a Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait. One thing that I do want to point out that I always do on all my Z-Man chatterbaits is I trim up the skirts and I trim back the skirts. One thing I like to do, I just like to make it just a slimmer profile a little bit as far as the overall strands. So I'll snip off a bunch of them. But ultimately what I'll do is I'll shorten up the skirt as well. I'll snip off some of the bottom because I don't want the skirt to actually make the trailer get as much action as it needs to. You don't realize that when this plastic on this skirt starts to touch on this trailer, it won't run as naturally as it will if it's not touching it. So trust me on this tip, guys. You want to try this, you want to do this, lock that in, trim that skirt, slim it up. I guarantee you're going to get more jackhammer bites once you do that. I do the same thing with my spinnerbaits as well, with the abundance or the resurgence of trailers on spinnerbaits, because I definitely remember there was a point in time recently where guys weren't running trailers on spinnerbaits. They were putting trailer hooks, but they weren't putting trailers on their spinnerbaits. There was a small gap of years where that wasn't happening for the most part. But guys are back doing it. We're back at it. Guys putting trailers on their spinnerbaits. I use the Z-Man trailers, and I also use Gary Yamamoto grub trailers. Old school Gary Yamamoto grub. This one right here, this spinnerbait, this exact spinnerbait is responsible for catching me a 6.5 pounder at Diamond Valley within the last 2 weeks or so. So another thing I do, once again, I trim it back. This is especially important with these grubs because they're very fickle as far as the softness. You want to trim that back to where it's not even touching any portion of that curly tail on that grub. You're going to get more action out of your trailer, and you're going to get more bites that's going to stick because the fish doesn't have to. He's going to definitely get more of the bait when he eats it. Same thing in conclusion, guys. Swim jigs. Swim jigs has become a popular thing in this day and age of bass fishing. I do the same thing with my swim jigs. I try to reduce the profile some because I use a bulkier trailer at times. So I reduce the profile, and I also, once again, cut the strands to make them a little shorter. This one, I got a couple more that I need to hit up. So that way this trailer can kick as freely as it needs to when I'm working this swim jig. So guys, hopefully you guys check it out. This Z-Man Razor Shads is the trailer I like to use on my chatterbaits and on my chatterbaits, and also on my spinnerbaits. And then my backup would be a 5-inch Gary Yamamoto Super Grub. That's what it's called, Super Grub. So hopefully that catches you guys some more fish. Hope all is well. You guys stay safe out there, and we will see you on the water. Run it.
Thanks for the great tip. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It really does help this channel. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Good fishing.